My name is Bret, and sometimes I wear a beret. And I own a lot of blasters. And that shouldn't surprise you. I go to a lot of games. I use a lot of blasters. I probably own quite a few, don't I? Well, they're not always mine. And if you've seen in the past my active and reserve arsenal videos, you probably know that I do still have quite a few blasters. Now, I have done a pretty good job at giving things away or trading out blasters this past year for ones that I actually want. But it's got away from me. It is the end of the year. So I figured let's look at all of my stuff and see what I'm actually using and what I'm not, so that I can maybe start continuing that process. I'm looking at an Excel sheet of my inventory, and it's also out of date. So that was the first sign. Doesn't matter what day it is right now, but the day I'm posting this is Black Friday, which is kind of a reminder to myself as well that I know there's a lot of deals on new stuff, but don't jump on them when you're not using your current stuff. Because some of you probably have a budget, like myself, and you can't afford to buy everything. That time is long gone. So I'm going to show you what I have today, and I'm going to give them each a ranking from 1 to 5. Now, my scale for that is 1, it's very unused. I have not used this in a long time, or maybe even ever, in a game or at an event. A 2 is underused, so maybe I have used it before, but in this past year of nerfing events, I have not brought it, or have not used it. A 3 would be, yes, I have used it in the past year, which is a very reasonable thing. There's a lot of games, there's a lot of different blasters I need to use, so if I've used it, 3 is good. 4, it's very, very used, frequently used, I should say, and so it's something I would bring to every other game most likely, so it's a good blaster. And then a 5 is basically, what do I call it? Go-to blaster. I have this pretty much at every single event, or at least there are enough of these events that exist where I will bring this blaster. There's no way that's ever going to go away. There are some new blasters I have right now that I'm not going to bring out because I'm too lazy, and I haven't had them for long enough to really give them an appropriate designator. So I'm not going to show you everything I have, probably because I will miss some stuff. My Dart Zone Pro Mark I is over there. I brought it to the last game that I want to, and I haven't had it for long enough, so whatever, it's a 3 or a 4, however you want to call it. This is the first container I have. There are 3 more over there. Let's jump into the first one. Rival Knockout. This is pretty recent, but I've brought it to quite a few things. I'll give this a 4. Honestly, it may even be a 5. This one's so small and easy to throw into a container or a backpack and just bring it to events. Nerf Ripsaw. I thrifted this one not long ago. Definitely haven't brought it to a game, though I'd also consider... Wow, you smell terrible. It's a 2. I've had it long enough to not have an excuse. So I've stored part of my Caliburn in here. This one, it's not going to get a designator. I've tried to use my Caliburn recently, and it failed, and now I've disassembled it for other reasons. Dart Zone Destructor. Picked this one up recently, and I've used it at least one event since then. 3, we'll call it that, but that's not a bad thing. Oh dear. Nerf Nitro Moto Fury. I used this last, I think at Fort Flagler. That was not this year. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think I've only used it once in total, so Moto Fury might be a 1. Nerf Tiger DB. Used this at the same event I went to with the Destructor. It's also pretty new, but sure, it's a 3. Do I want to use it more than that? Not important. Whiptail Scorpion. I've used this for a sketch once, and Mr. Nathan gave it to me at End War, so I've had it long enough to, I think, call this a 2. I really should. And probably will at some point bring this to a game. Alright, let's get this out of the way. Here's a reactor. Now, if you've seen my video in the past showing when I thrifted 17 Nerf reactors, you know that I at least have 17 Nerf reactors. What I'll say is this, we've used them in games as objectives, but I don't think I need this many. So I'll say, imagining I have 18, 9 of these are 2s, where I've used them all at an event once for objectives, but not since then or for a while. And the rest are 3s. X-Shot Reflex 6. I've brought this to a couple events in the past few months. This one actually might be a 4. I've used this, or at least brought it to quite a few things. Even if I haven't used it, it's been with me. Foxfire Talon. I brought this to Ragnar Oktoberfest even if I didn't use it. I brought it to an event since then as well. Probably a 3 just because I haven't used it as much, but it's honestly a contender for 4. I do have this one with me often. Talon Claw. Definitely haven't made a video about this too. Shoot. I'd still consider this one new, because I've only brought it to one event since its creation. So no comment. Rival Burn just dropped a screw. I'd say this is a 4, actually. I've really enjoyed my Rival Burn. Prickly's Moto Strife. I've used this at a single event. I guess it's a 3 then. But it really should get some more love. I do still own a Stampede. This is old. I have not used this for over a year. This is a 1. My Stampede has not gotten love since 2017. Whiteout Long Strike. I have not used this in a game yet. I've used a Whiteout Long Strike on camera before, but it wasn't mine. Okay, the barrel's in here somewhere, whatever. I've had it long enough. That's on me. This is also a 1. Original 95 crossbow. Why haven't I used this? The plunger rod is snapped. It needs to be, like, majorly fixed before I can even consider bringing it to a game. Supermax 1000. Yeah, I haven't used this. This is a 1. When did I get this? I have no recollection of when I got this. It's been a while. Atomizer. Right? This might be a 2. I think I've used this not long ago. Maybe it has been longer. It's a 2. Supermax 3000. Hey, another 1. Yeah, I haven't used this ever. I started modifying it to maybe shoot regular-sized darts. Look what happened there. The other pieces of this are in there, but Arizona Rocket Storm. It's a 1. I haven't used this since 2012? Oh no. Worker Blow Blaster. Huh, I guess I'll call that a 1. I'm not going to lose sleep over it though. Here's one that's interesting. My Ultimator. I used this a lot in 2018, but I don't know if I've actually brought this to a game in 2019. I'd have to check my footage on that. This may actually be more like a 2. It needs to be used, but I've used it. I just don't think I've used it recently. I'm sorry, little guy. Split Fire. I got this one not super long ago. I think this one is safe to say that I haven't had a chance to use it. I haven't rebarreled it. It's still just for vintage megas, and I don't have enough vintage megas to run it, so that's my excuse. But it holds air. BlastX. This is a 1 as well. Was this just the 1 bin? Nothing special about this one right now. Maybe that's why, like the other blasters that require vintage megas, I just haven't used it. Nothing else in here is really a reactor. Alright, next. Alright, first standard container. What do we got? Blue Dynamite, not important. Skid Shot. I used it earlier this year. I've brought it to something since. It does fire Boomco right now, so it's not completely useless. It's a 3. I definitely use it. Pump Action Recon Mark II. I brought this to a game last month, so it's barely holding on to a 3 position. Spampy Boy. Now this one, I've brought my Spamp to possibly every game since I've gotten it. This honestly might be a 5. I might put Spamp at a 5 right now. Or a strong 4. My Sentinel. Pretty sure I brought it earlier this year, but not much since then. It's like one of my favorite blasters. I'm gonna give it a 3, but I gotta use it. My FDL 3. Now, I don't bring this to every single game I go to because I don't need to, and I often don't really want to. But for a lot of the big invitationals, this has pretty much always traveled with me. I'd consider it a 4 for that reason. It's not my every time I go somewhere I bring the FDL, but for a lot of stuff, the FDL 3 just works for me, and it's never failed me. Sledgefire. This is another one. Have you seen my logo? You know what I'm holding there? Yeah, Sledgefire. Is this a 2? No, I used it earlier this year for I'd Run That episode. I'm pretty sure. It's a 3, but barely. I own a Rapid Strike. That's cool. That's a 1. I haven't used this in ages. Whoops. Is this modded? I have no idea. Is there any ammo in here? Can I look down the barrel? I don't care. Battle Camo Battle Scout. When did I last use this? I do not remember. You know what that means? That's a 1. Another Battle Scout. Let's put that in the other 1 category. This one is slightly modded, though. Okay. I have a Snipe. Yeah, I haven't used this in like a year. This is also a 1, which is a shame. I actually really liked when I finished this mod up. It's janky, but it works. I have a Rapid Pistol. Have I used this? Not in this state. I guess it's a 1. This is a sad day. I'm now realizing just how few of blasters I use, and I was trying to go into this thinking, oh, I use so much of my stuff. I use so much of my stuff. This used to be my go-to. I haven't used this Alpha Trooper this year. Does it work? Okay, might require some more investigation. I guess it's a 1, though, until that time. I was gotta have an XBZ standing by. But guess what? Okay, it functions. I haven't used this. It's a 1. Clear Raider. Didn't you love my footage of this last month? It's a 1. Alright, that's it for this container. Shoot. Alright, this is getting really demoralizing, I'm not gonna lie. And we've got 2 more to go. Let me clean this up and next. Next container. This one's kind of lighter, so I hope there aren't too many things inside of it. Rev Reaper. I've used this. This is almost, funny enough, like a 4. I don't know if I need to keep this, though. Some people just got real sad. Meanwhile, I swear I had an idea for this. Okay, it's a 1. There's nothing special about it, I just have one. I've meant to use my Dominator more, too. I've used this, like, once, and that footage got corrupted somehow. That was also not this year. That was last year. Shoot, it's a 1. Dualfish. I've used this. I know I've used this. There have been a couple games. I can't use this everywhere because it's higher FPS than most of our standard ones, but when the occasion has come, I have used this blaster to great lengths. I would consider this a 4. My Dualfish has been very fun to use. Thank you, Kyle, once again. Hey, let's drop back down again. I haven't used Andrea's rifle in a long time. I'm gonna call it a 2. Because I can. Deploy Blazooka. There's an XBZ tank in the back of this deploy. It squeaks. See, I'd run that episode 1. This is a 1. And I really should use this. Singled Sledgefire. Singled means 1. It's a 1. 2 Magnum Super Drums. The drums are right here. These are 3s. I brought these to events. I know what I'm talking about. Evader. This I've probably never shown on camera. I don't really know at this point. This was a Kyle special, but I have not used it, and I think I've had it long enough to not have an excuse. So it's a 1. Oh gosh, okay. This I've been meaning to eventually show off. Not this End War, but End War 2018, someone gave me this. If you're watching right now, congratulations, I still own this, and I've never used it on camera. It's just a double shot. That's why it's in the same container as my other unused double shot. It just, you close it up, pull string, and then you'd fire both. So it's a 1, obviously. Tri-Strike stock attachment, which is just the hamp that shoots rockets. Have I brought this to anything? What do you think the answer is? Probably not. Probably, once again, a 1. Real janky old mod. You know what it is. It's a 1. Alright, one more. This one is heavier. I think this one has all the pistols in it. Oh boy. Lightning round. Oh, okay. That one's kind of sad to start off with. Sax-BZ. Sax-BZ Mini or Sax-BZ 2. It's been a long time. I'm sad. They're both 1s. Stormfire. Very old mod. I'll give it a 2. It's still underused. I thought I got rid of this. I think I used this once. I'll give this a 2 as well. But I don't want to hold that anymore. Proton. It's a 1. I've been meaning to use that, but I just haven't been able to. Boomco Halo M6. I've often brought this to games. This is my go-to Boomco pistol if I need a Boomco blaster. I will give this one a 4. I also thought I got rid of this one. Not that it's bad, I just thought that someone else would want this. That's a 1. K26 Brass Tech Target. That's a 2. My Hammer Shot. You know what? Haven't used it a lot on camera recently, maybe, but I know the events that I bring this to, and I have used it in the past year. I will give this one a 3. It's not super high-powered, but I really do enjoy using this hammer shot. Kronos. This is actually the only Kronos that I own, and guess what? It's a 2, because I haven't used it very recently, but I have remembered using it. LPL Missing a Barrel. I used this recently. This is a 3. I bring this every now and then. Does this qualify? But I have used it. It's a 3. A 1. I have not used my Scatterblast ever. Probably because I don't want to break it. It's already broken on the side. Don't break my thing. I like this thing. Baron. There's a few of those in here. Overall, I'm going to call them 2s because I haven't used them in a while, but I have used them since moving all of my stuff. Here's a stock hammer shot. I'll maybe use that. Switch shot, the one that works with the Wii. I have not used this ever in a game setting, fairly certain. It's a 1. Whiteout Maverick. Oh, this has the paint coming off the handle because I used it at End War. I'll give it a 3. You worked well, buddy. You got me to the very end, and I will never forget that. Unlike that, the glow shot, 1. Never used that. Flintlock pistol. This is a 2. I haven't used it in a while, but I do remember last time I used it. What's this pistol called? This was from Luchathor, but we got rid of the front part. I know I've used it. It's a 3. That's so ratchet. What's this called again? What's this called? Ratchet Blast? I literally just said that's so ratchet. Are you serious, Bret? I've used this year, therefore it's a 3. My Sweet Revenge, it's a 2. Whoops. Sharpshooter 2. I don't think I've ever used this in a game. And I do have barrels in this for elites. Literally just shove it. Oh my gosh, this could work with Ultra. Okay, it's a 1, but there's potential. There's probably a few jolts in here. I'm not going to count jolts because I can just throw them in whenever, so they're like 1s and 5s at the same time. Is this Mini Mischief? Is that what it's called? I don't think I've ever used this in a game, but I've really been meaning to. It's a 1, now that I remember. Double shot with a special Wacom shroud. I used this last year, but that is not this year. So unfortunately, I'm going to consider it a 2. Here's this thing. Grip Strike? Is that what Boomco called it? It is a Boomco blaster. You put a Boomco dart over and you squeeze it. I've never used it. It's a 1. Tech 3. It's not the only one in there. 2. Exact Strike. I don't think I've used this in ages to the point where I'd probably call it a 1. Double Down. Probably a 2. But I remember this used to be like one of my go-to sidearms that I'd bring in, I think, 2018. Why did I stop? Throttle Shot Blitz. It's a nitro blaster. I haven't used it this year, but I have used it before, and you won't choose it for surveys when I put it on, so now you know. It's a 2. Rangemaster internals. Looks more like a baton. I used this a lot like 3 or 4 years ago, and I'm not lying about that. I remember just like putting this on a belt and just walking around with it, so it's like, huh, pop, because people didn't know what it was. I'll call it a 2, but it used to be like a 4 for me. That's what's so sad. Speaking of things that used to be a lot more useful to me, my Panther still holds air too. Another 2. Otherwise just looks like a bunch of attachments and like sights in here, so I guess that's it. Without looking back over the footage and just kind of thinking off the top of my head, it really seemed like there were a lot of things that I still just haven't used in a while. I guess that's why it's good to sometimes look at what you own and how much you're using, because what's the point in me getting all the new stuff if I'm not using my current stuff? Oh, yeah. VMD Cannon Commando. Haven't used that ever. That's a 1. That was a mistake. So that's gonna do it for this time, everyone. I have a bunch to clean up now and catalog and set aside, so this is gonna be a fun evening for me, but hope you got a kick out of this, like I said, and thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later.